Before we are going to interview you, so can you introduce yourself?
Sure.
Your name, where you're from?
Yes, my name is Heather Heidick, and I'm from the United States. And we're in Malaysia for 3 years for my husband's job.
How do you feel when you're teaching here? How do you feel?
How do I feel? I enjoy coming. Sometimes, like when I first started teaching, I was very nervous about it because I wasn't sure whether or not the children understood what I was saying. But the longer I teach, the better I feel about it because I feel like they're getting to know me and I'm getting to know them, and that it's working better now.
Alright, so what grade are you teaching right now?
I'm teaching grade 2, and I chose grade 2, I think I came about in February, because I have a second grader myself, so I thought I would know that age group. But what I realized after I started teaching is it's 8-year-olds up until like 14. And so sometimes the challenge for me is to have interesting material that 8-year-olds and 14-year-olds like. So I read certain books that I think maybe the older boys don't enjoy as much as the younger kids, but for their English level, it's on the right level. So sometimes that's a challenge, finding something the older kids also like to hear about. For me, the only subject that I'm teaching them is English, and so I'm focused mainly on just helping them speak first, and then I understand from you that you're giving them the lessons in grammar and some of the other things. And so really what I'm working on is mainly speaking and comprehension, because I feel to be successful in speaking English and then learning the language well, you really need to speak well. And so I focus on that most of the time, and I find that the kids, some of them are very shy about speaking, so I'm trying to find ways to make it comfortable for them to speak in English.
Did you find any improvement the day you teach at the year beginning until now? So do you find their improvement?
Yes, definitely they're improving, and I think our communication back and forth is improving, and I find that they are speaking in English much more. They're more confident about what they say, and they're just less shy about communicating. So I think it helps that their skills are improving. So I think what you're doing when I'm not here teaching them the grammar, I can see that in their writing, when we do writing, that they've improved. And that's not always something I spend time on, but I can see they're improving there, and then their speaking is also improving. So I think they're definitely improving.
So while you are teaching, they can understand you and they can do that while you are teaching. So they can do all of it, all of you are teaching.
Sometimes I think that when I read stories, if it's something that they're not familiar with, something new, sometimes they don't understand me. So what I try to do is we'll read some of a story and then we'll stop and we'll talk about the words, so the different words in the story, like the different characters, and then maybe they'll write a sentence so that they understand what's going on in the story. So I have to stop sometimes. But most of the time I think they follow what I'm saying. Although they do laugh from time to time at some of the stuff that I say.
Okay.
In general, I think they're pretty clever students, and then there are a couple of students in my class that I think are very clever. So I can see that they catch on much quicker. And what's nice is these kids seem to be willing to work together. So if we're working on something and one of the clever ones has already figured it out and they're moving on, they're happy to help someone next to them. So I think that's a very good community spirit that they have.
How are their behaviors here? Are they good?
They're very good.
Are they polite?
Oh.
To listen and to obey teacher?
Yes, extremely polite. So compared to the U.S. students, much more polite. They're very nice, very respectful. They do whatever I ask them to do. They're very polite. Yeah, I enjoy teaching them. They're very nice children.
Do you have any encouragement speak for your students? So what would you like to say for them?
Oh, encouraging words. Just that I would like them to continue to work hard in school because it's so important for their future, and that the harder they work and the better they are at their studies, the more opportunities they have. And so I tell my own children that, right? That if they decide they don't want to work hard in school, well, they're just going to limit what they can do in the future. So the harder they work, the better off they'll be. Yeah.
Okay. Education, is it important? Is it basically for all the children? And how important is it? So can you share what your point of view is? Yes.
Sure. So education is very important. it should be important to all children, but especially if you go back to the United States, it's very competitive. So there's testing that's done, and then when you finish your schooling, so high school, if you want to go to college, it's competitive in terms of what your grades were like. And so if you get good grades, then you will have opportunities, and sometimes they'll even pay for you to go to college. But if you don't work hard, then when you finish high school, you'll probably have to find a job, and then you won't have as many opportunities and won't make as much money. So yeah, so it's definitely important, especially if you plan to leave Malaysia and go somewhere else. Because in the US, it doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is. If you work hard and you get the grades, you have the opportunities, and so you can do whatever you like, but you have to work hard.
Okay.
I'm Lily. I've been working with MKO since when it first started. That was around 2008 to 2009 until now. I enjoy myself. You know, the children has been a blessing, and I hope I've been a blessing to them.
My name is Wei Kiong. I've been teaching in MKO more full-time basis since about over 2 years ago after I stopped working. Over the past 2 years, it has been joy and it's been fun to be able to teach the kids here, and be able to have friendship with them. I find them a very good bunch of children.
I believe English is a very essential language that they should prevail. So I've been here since the beginning to help out with English.
So how about you, teacher?
Yes, I agree that the children need to have a very strong foundation of English, so that when they go to another country, they will be able to have a good start in their life, in their relationship with the people over there. So English is very important for them, and it will be good for them in due time when they are resettled.
So here, every year you will have a new student, is it? You will have a new student and an old student. So especially for your new student, so how to say, they will have a difficulty about understanding. So how do you solve that problem? How do you teach them?
Yeah, especially for this year, we have totally, for me, there's totally new group of children. Last year's class has really gone out to work, and some are going for other studies. So this year, the group more younger people. I noticed that most of them are not able to confident to converse in English. So we try to go down to a lower level to be able to communicate with them so that they can understand what we are trying to communicate with them. And I feel that they are very what they call it, keen to learn. They're very keen to learn, and they are keen to be in the class and happy to be able to even relate with us. So we are glad for them.
To me, the challenge will be more of they were speaking in Karen themselves. We always try to encourage them, you know, to speak English, even though it might be broken or whatever. But language, English is a language you have to learn. Now, along the way journey, I said you make mistakes. All of us do make mistakes. So don't be fearful. You just tell them, try. Speak English. You know, it will help. If you don't do it now, if you go to a new country, you know, it will be really tougher for you, because down there, most of them really communicate in English. So down here, we just keep on encouraging them, lead them, guide them, and then help them along the way. I mean, we correct them in love, you know. I mean, sometimes we need to correct them, but we correct them in love and guide them.
We will try to make the lessons as simple as possible, because we know that different children, some of them better in English. Some they're poorer in English. So we know that, and we try to make the lessons as simple as possible so that as many of them as possible can understand. The other thing though we're trying to do is that to help them in their English is to encourage them to read books. Last year, for our class, we give them story books and tell them that to read the book so that it will help them to improve their English. So reading is a very good way to improve a person's English language.
From the year beginning until now, do you see their significant improvement?
I do see the children have improved. They have improved. I believe MKO, the Learning Center, is doing a great job. Your organization is doing a great job by setting up this learning center for them. While the parents are working, the children might be just hanging in the house. But instead, that you are doing a great job to bring them here, and that we can help them. All us can help them to increase their knowledge of English, which will help them in the future.
I also see a keen interest in the students to want to learn. Even though they may not understand everything, I can see for this year, especially for the new students, most, if not all of them, are very keen to come to class and to learn together. So that's a good sign.
This year attendance has been very good. Last year sometimes a number didn't come. This year most of them, the attendance are good. Very few days, sometimes they have to go to UN, sometimes they have something on, only they miss class. Other than that, we have seen the attendance I think since I've been teaching, this year is the best. I think the students, either they are very interested or they have been coming very regularly.
We also to make the thing more enjoyable, especially for our class, we do singing. Sometimes we sing worship songs. We do games, simple games with them, just to have some excitement to make the class more exciting.
Before we start the lesson, they are very good. I feel they are very good. No. Initially, when I was coming, I've never thought before. No, I mean, in any school like that. So, first school was in another school before I come here, just a few months there. So I'm very surprised that the students are so well behaved. They are so polite. They are so nice to be with. I felt that the parents have done a good job to raise up the children so well. Even though we have never been to Myanmar, we don't know how Myanmar is. But I would say that the children does a good job. The school also does a good job.
Yeah, over the years, even though the children have come and go, I do notice personally that the children, all of them are very well behaved. In fact, I've never come across anyone that is really have a behavioral problem. All are very, very well behaved and helpful, very courteous. So they're all fantastic children.
Maybe we have been teaching the higher class. We haven't gone down the lower because.
Yes.
Do you want to give some encouragement speech for your students?
Yeah, I would like to encourage them to really continue to be interested to learn English, to be keen to read books, English books, so that they will be able to improve themselves, and especially also, as Amelia shared earlier, to communicate among themselves in English so that they can improve and they are well prepared when they go to other countries.
Yes, for me too, the reading part, to read more, that will help them also to speak more, so that it will give them the confidence, so that they will not be shy. They just will carry on and persevere. I believe that they will do well in their